Hoka hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of October the 10th, 2025. The Alita sequel, Rosa's interview, and more, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I'm your host, Creek Indian from Denver, Colorado, and with me from Fountain, Colorado is Lee. How's it going, Lee?
Not too bad.
Cool. And Angela says that he will be here soon. Cool.
Well, as exciting as it ever is in a small town. It's just people getting ready for the holidays and stuff.
Yeah. You reckon it's smaller in Denver?
Much smaller than Denver.
Yeah, I think so. So anyway, we don't have too many guests. We got a couple of people who are coming, though. I think I invited some. So we'll get, usually Blotty shows up a little bit late. If he shows up at all. So, and Angelus will be here shortly. So,
I am going to probably put in the StreamYard private chat, but the X link pretty much has the both the main interview in one of the replies, as well as the 30-second video that Perry also did when she was speaking to Landau.
yeah,
the late and great John Landau, in another reply below that one. Basically, it's just more like, I guess, centralized for the topic at hand.
Well, I do have this. I do have the link for Rosa's Collider video or Collider interview in the description. But if you want to take a look at it now while we're just talking, a couple of things I wanted to do is I wanted to read. Oh, go ahead.
It's more that that's just there so you can sort of right click and open up in a new tab and sort of have it queued up or whatever you do.
Okay. Well, anyway, I've got I put a couple of videos there that we've all seen several times, but I wanted to stress how that these folks are like John Landau, Robert Rodriguez, and Rosa. They're all still working for an Alita sequel. They're still doing it. I mean, and you'll see, especially when Rosa's in her interview with Perry, you'll see that she's all about Alita still. She still wants to do it. So, and we'll play that when we get to it. But, certainly we're going to replay the Blood Oath because I think one of the things we have to remember about John Landau is that, he's kind of a meticulous guy, and he, and I don't know John Landau. I've never met the guy, but, from what I understand, that he's, he takes his times doing things because he wants things to be he wants it to be high quality. And that's kind of where he's at. And
Are you talking about James Cameron?
Yeah, Cameron. Yeah. Did I say Rodriguez? I meant Cameron. Well, Rodriguez.
I think you were saying John Landau.
Oh, did I say Landau? Landau. Well, he was also, but of course he's not with us anymore. But James Cameron is what I meant to say. He's, he's a very meticulous guy from what I understand. And like I say, I don't know him. I've never met him. I wish.
Yeah, I've heard he's quite the demanding perfectionist.
It could be, and that's a good thing, actually, in a lot of ways.
When you make multi-billion-dollar decisions on the daily, you tend to not want to make mistakes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Huh?
And then, of course, Robert Rodriguez is an excellent movie maker himself, and he puts out quality films. And I don't know much about him either. I do know the next time he does South by Southwest, probably Charlie Smith and I are going to end up in Austin, Texas, or at least I know I am. I don't know about Charlie, but I'm going to be there, and that'll be I think it's in February is when they do that. Now, if I don't. I got a couple of competitions coming up in February, so it depends on what weekend, stuff like that. Or it might be in March. Now that I think about it, South by Southwest. Angelus, look that up, will you, on the internet? See when it was this year, because they tend to do it the same month every year. So, but anyway, we're going to replay that Blood Oath. because you know, they both take things serious. I think this is not something that they would just do to, you know, just on a lark. You know, I think they would, you know, I think they mean to do and lead a sequel. And then of course there's Rosa at WonderCon back in 2022. She got a question from a guy from Cinema Blend, you know, that asked about Alita, and she was there for Undone because they had just wrapped up, I guess, the second season of Undone, and she was there with the other actors, and you know, they were getting all kinds of different questions. And then of course, you know, the part we got out of this, that, you know, the video is, of course, you know, is that, you know, what she talked a little bit about Alita and stuff there. So we're going to see that video as well. And then we're going to see the segment of Perry, you know, and Rosa talking about the sequel to Alita Battle Angel. And I think you'll get a really good feeling, I think, especially from Rosa's interview with Collider, that she really wants to do an Alita sequel. And I know Charlie and I, when we went to see her at the Pasadena Playhouse, you know, she was nice to us, and we had a really great time talking to her. I mean, we talked to her the time I went to talk to her, we, you know, see her, you know, in the movie, you know, we basically talked to her for 10 minutes, you know. I think we made an impression on her. I think we did, because I think she still remembers us. But I remember her asking me.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. Yeah. Well, we're not going to play any of that. We're not going to play that stuff. But she had asked Charlie where we were from, and Charlie said he was local because Charlie lives there near LA. And he said, but Creek, or he didn't call me, I don't know if he called me Creek, he might have said Gary or whatever, but he said he flew in from Denver, you know. And she said, you flew in from Denver to see the play? And I said, no, Rosa, I flew in from Denver to see you in the play. So anyway, and I think that kind of impressed her, I think. And
maybe it's a good thing I didn't come along, because if you told her I came in all the way from Australia, then she'd probably faint.
That's right. She might have. Yeah. Yes, you know something, when you came last year, you remember, Angelus, you came to the U.S. last year. It'd have been something if you would have come. Yeah, I mean, year before. Was it last year? Yeah, I think it was. It was in June, wasn't it? I think of last year.
Let's just say I'm like I've got 1 week off just to sort of recharge my mental batteries next week from work. But beyond that, I'll be saving up all of my annual leave from work for, hang on, let me look. Where does it say? For March 12th to the 18th of next year. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's 8 days. Oh, wow.
Wow, cool.
No, 7 days. So 1 full week.
Yeah, well, Charlie, I think you, well, yeah, he put Alita, Creek told Alita. No, well, she is Alita. Rosa is Alita, and Alita is Rosa. So I guess that's true. But if I remember correctly, Charlie, I think you told her I came in from Denver. But anyway, yeah, she hugged me. That was nice, you know. But anyway, she hugged us both several times. Charlie impressed her too with. You know, he impressed her with the facts that he had. You know, he had the numbers and stuff like that for what the profit for Alita was and stuff like that. And you know, we both got the impression that she didn't know, you know, how much money Alita had made. Or she probably knew the gross, because that's a matter of public record. But she probably didn't know what the ultimate or the net, you know, over since 2019. She didn't know what the net was, and I forget what it was, Charlie. It was something like 160 million or something like that, if I remember correctly. But she didn't know that, so I think that impressed her as well, you know. So anyway, we're going to look at all 3 of those videos, and particularly we'll talk a lot about her interview with Collider, because that's the newest one. The other 2 we all seen several times. but I just want to, kind of establish a foundation for these three wanting to do an Alita sequel. They all want to do it. It was 125 million. That's right. As of September of last year. Yeah. Which is when we went to see her, so.
There is something that Rosa says in the new interview that we'll see if anyone picks up on.
All right.
Take from it what you will, but
Yep.
I guess me, I'm more the glass half full kind of person, so I took a positive spin from it,
Yeah.
and we'll see where the chips fall for you guys.
Yeah.
When you see the video for yourself, you can make your own judgment.
And then we're gonna, I guess, kind of talk about what Rose has been doing here recently. I know one of the things that, that I did, and Charlie and I both did, but I flew back to LA because I wanted to go to the advanced screening of Play Dirty. And it's really a good movie. I enjoyed the heck out of it. It's got tons of action in it. Man, it's really super, And Rosa was great in that movie. And of course, Mark Wahlberg, he's always great. Lakeith Stanfield was in it. He's great. Just all of them are really good. I guess Tony Shalhoub, he played a bad guy, and he was, all those actors, they had really good actors in this movie. And it's on Prime if anybody wants to see it. It's playing right now. And I think it was Charlie Smith. I know you're out there. I think it's #1 in a whole bunch of different countries, isn't it? So, that's a good sign that, Rosa's, I guess her, I wouldn't say credentials. It's not credentials, but, it's, her acting chops, is going to show that, hey, she's up to the task, of a big movie and stuff like that. So anyway, then we're going to, talk a little bit about the Academy Museum Motion Pictures. Charlie and I went to that also the day after. And then that was kind of cool because I got a slide that shows a couple of stills. Rosa had done kind of a virtual reality thing, for Cyberpunk, and it's really cool. I wasn't able to find the video, if I don't know, Angelus, do you have that video? You might have that video. I don't know. Knowing you seem to come up with stuff. So if you do, we can play that, And then, of course, we're going to, I looked for it on YouTube. I couldn't find it anywhere. It's the video where she's welcoming everybody to the Academy of Motion, the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures, and she's kind of introducing everybody to Cyberpunk. So that was really a cool video. She's there in a virtual kind of environment, kind of thing. Then we just go discuss about how we can, as the Alita Army, how we can continue to support Alita and Rosa, to you do what we can do, to help get a sequel. The main thing is to keep Alita current. And we of course bring that up every week on Radio Chaos as well. So.
Oh, I just had an idea. I just get like a whole bunch of small sticky notes.
Okay.
Like 50 sticky notes taken on each and every 50 of my. I would have hand cramps afterwards, but
cool. On
each one I'd write Alita Army was here, and then just like randomly stick them everywhere whenever we're walking through, like the Academy, the Academy Museum or South by Southwest, and just randomly put them everywhere. That'll let them know that Alita Army was here.
Oh yeah, it will. Okay, I want to play this video right here. And this is a video I think from 3 years ago. It's the video where James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez do the blood oath thing. Where they let's do an Alita sequel. You go, yeah, let's do that. That kind of thing. So.
Another Alita film. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do that. Fans,
all right,
more
Blood Oath.
Let's do it.
Right,
Blood Oath right here.
Okay, all right,
sounds good.
All right, thanks, Robert.
So anyway, that's that came out in 2022. So, you know, as methodical as, you know, I think James Cameron is, I think that's one of the reasons I think that we haven't gotten a sequel yet. Among other things, there are probably other factors that we're not aware of, you know. Here's what Charlie says about Play Dirty. 48 countries on the first day. Wow, and it's still doing well. You know, that's a good sign right there. Yeah, I highly recommend everybody watch that movie. If you got Amazon Prime, you know, watch that movie, man. It is good. You know, and it's a kind of a shoot 'em up, you know, kind of action movie, you know, so it's, you know, it's that, you know, but you know, our queen does a great job on that thing. So you know, it's really good. So anyway, any thoughts about this Blood Oath, Lee? What's your take on it?
Oh, nothing new. I mean, it seems that they have an interest in doing sequels, so we just kind of have to wait.
Yeah. Chaos, you got any thoughts?
He might be busy.
Yeah, he might be busy because he's got two kids, two young kids, so that'll. Yeah. What about you, Angelus? Any thoughts about this?
Waiting for the penny to drop.
Yes.
When the interview comes up.
Yes. Okay.
That'll be keen to see how everyone else acts and reacts.
You bet. All right. Well, let's go ahead and play this one. And this is another one that came out, you know, I guess in 2022. Rosa was at, she was at, you know, WonderCon, and I don't know. I don't know if this was in Austin, Texas, or where this was.
I'm hugging my monitor right now.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's got some woo-woo, that's for sure. So anyway, but yeah, she gets a question. I can't remember the name of the reporter. He works for Cinema Blend. You know, Mike Reyes told me once what his name was, but I forgot. You know, so anyway, but basically, you know, she was asked a question about, you know, what about, you know, the Alita? What about Alita? You know, and then of course she goes into that. So.
What's up, Army?
Robert Rodriguez is currently working on Book of Boba Fett on Disney Plus. There's a rumor out there that if that went well, he was going to pitch an Alita series to Disney Plus. Have you heard anything about that? and have you even spoken to Robert since that first film about moving forward?
Yeah, I harass them all the time. Like it might become a legal issue soon. Well, I was I email with James Cameron a lot where I'm just like, how are you? And like, how are the avatars? And like Alita. Yeah. And he's always like, I'm so down, which is crazy to hear someone like James Cameron be like, I'm so down. Yeah. And when we were in South by Southwest, I went over to Robert's house and had tea and was just talking about Alita. And we, all three of us, has so much love for Alita. It's never outside of our line of vision ever. Everything we do, we're just sort of like, how do we get back there? I mean, we all three of us took jobs with Disney. I made like a little show. They're doing Star Wars and Avatars. It's the same. But we're trying like hell. We're trying like hell to get her back out there because we know how much, just like this, her story means so much to women, to young girls, to boys, to everybody. I mean, I think she represents something that transcends race, gender, all of that. So we're working on it, man.
I'm super
working on it.
I'm happy to hear that.
So anyway, that was something. That's 3 years ago. But you know, her enthusiasm for Alita has not changed. You know, she still wants to do a sequel, and you know, and we're going to see in the next interview, I guess, that you know, James Cameron wants to do it too. I mean, you'll see that, and then of course, Angelus, after we play that video or play that interview rather, we'll have him tell us what that, what that little snippet was that he thinks that we might want to pick up on, So any thoughts about this one, you guys? Anybody?
Seems like it speaks for itself. I mean, she's definitely up for one.
Yeah.
Says she's been talking to him about one. So
Yeah. Well, she said she bothers them all the time about it, that so much so it's going to become a legal issue soon. Might get a restraining order against her, maybe. I don't think so, but
When
Okay.
when you're deciding what to take or what your personal takeaway is from the previous video, this one and the one coming up next, just think, I want you to keep in mind that I believe that there's a specific difference between, leading someone on down the merry path, in a metaphorically speaking, and keeping the fire alive. To put it in layman's terms, it's basically the difference between a glass half empty and a glass half full.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's no, technically it's the same amount. There's no, what's the word for it? Right or wrong way of looking at it. It's just the way that you look at it.
Yeah.
And so.
My takeaway on these two particular videos right here is, to me, all it says is they want to do it. They do want to do the Alita sequel. And I think Charlie had, put up a possible thing here that, and I think, Charlie, I think you're referring to, the rumor was that, that Bob Iger, wants Cameron to direct it. If you want to do a Alita sequel, you direct it, And we don't know that was a rumor. We don't know what what kind of the underlying, kind of premise for this was. What that was. Who knows? I do know that a while back, this was several years ago, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, there was something that came out on IMDb that said Alita was in development. So, and that was, I don't know if that page is still up or not, but Alita was, listed with several other movies that were all in development. I think they used the term development hell or something like that. But, but the bottom line is, for me, is I know that these three still want to do it. They still want to do a sequel. And that brings us to this one. Now, what we'll do here is we're going to play it, and we're going to kind of comment on it. I'll stop it. And if Angelus, you come up with a comment, or Lee, you come up with a comment, we'll stop it and discuss that, because this is the newest thing right here. That's right. Charlie Smith, you're exactly right. So I have a lot of confidence that we're going to get a sequel. I'd be willing to bet money on it, But anyway, we'll play this video, and there's a couple of places I'll stop it. We'll discuss. If you guys see something, we can stop it and discuss. And after we do all this, because I know folks want to see Rosa, not us talking. So after that, we'll play the whole thing without talking. So anyway.
You brought up Alita, so I'll just go there
I'm
next.
always
So,
bringing up Alita.
I mean,
I'm always bringing up Alita. You hear that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whether-
Yeah, go ahead, Angelus.
Oh, I was going to say, whether by choice or by necessity, due to random fans and or digital journalists asking questions about it.
Yeah.
good on you. You should be very proud of that movie. And listen, I wish that franchise got to continue on and on.
It still might.
You see that?
Yep.
Still might. So I think she's pretty confident, you know, I mean, and certainly she hasn't been told, do not talk about Alita, you know, not that anybody could tell her not to do something,
Yeah.
but yes, I think she's pretty confident too, you know, so anyway.
I'll take that. I mean, he's got the set there.
He's got the set.
I'll follow
We'll
up.
have Cameron just as soon as this next Avatar.
I'll follow up on that point. I don't know how much you'll tell me in a moment, but I do want to emphasize how special it is to have a movie like that spark such like passion from a fan base that, like, for years now, every single time Alita comes up, there's people flooding the comments at like, when?
Yeah, I can't use closed captions on this, Charlie. I'm playing it from you know, from my computer, so I can't do that. I could probably, I guess I could pull it up and maybe play it there after we do this, because I want to watch it again after this. So we'll do that, and then we'll put closed captions on it.
Okay. Sorry for the interruption.
Oh no, that's okay, man. We interrupt each other all the time on these streams, so it's not a problem.
And like, we're not letting this go. We need more story, and I don't blame them. I want
Me
more.
either. I'm like, keep going, keep going. I'm one of those. I'm all the bots online doing that.
Yeah, you hear that? She knows. Yeah, she knows we're out here. All the bots. Well, we're not exactly bots, but you know, she knows that we're pushing for it. She knows there's a lot of support for it, you know, on social media and on YouTube and that kind of stuff. So.
Yep.
She's probably like 10% throwing a bit of shade at everyone that calls the fan base bots.
Yeah.
Because, you know, even way back in 2019, she made the Instagram comment / post of, I mean, it quite literally comes up in like a few videos, like the Alita Army video and one of Oddjohn's videos as well. But like I said, the Instagram comment / post made by Rosa Salazar back when she was still on social media was that the Oscar for the most outstanding fan base award goes to the Alita Army.
Yes.
And that was in reference to the banner that was flying over the Oscars or Academies or whatever it was.
Well, she knows we're pitching for her, that's for sure.
Oh, it gets better.
No, you're not. I know that's not true. But I'm glad to hear the enthusiasm from you as well.
It's the best. I mean, it's just the best. It's, you know, you have James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez who are friends, who are making this thing together. All the.
Sorry about that call. Let me put this thing on airplane mode. God. And that was spam. I thought I had it on airplane mode, but I didn't. There. Okay, let me just pull it back a couple.
I'm glad to hear the enthusiasm from you as well.
It's the best. I mean, it's just the best. It's, you know, you have James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez who are friends, who are making this thing together. All the love is there. You have an amazing script. You have an amazing graphics team like Weta. Well, that's what I was saying. It's like there was this huge team on Scorch Trials and Insurgent and Death Cure and all of that. But then when you get to Alita, it's like literally 4 times that size, because you have Weta and you have a normal crew, and then you have you have like welders. You have like thousands of people working on this thing. And it all comes down to this moment between two. It's just so amazing. I love a collaborative process, and it's just like to be able to do it on that scale.
When you have crews of that size, I am so in awe of a director who could be.
Something that I didn't realize until this very interview, and I mean, in a way I still don't, but this sort of, you know, makes me, like, it brings it up in my mind at least, is that the crew for all of her other blockbuster movies, granted that she wasn't a leading character, so to speak, but like the entire crew behind the camera, the size of it was nowhere near of what was required on Alita. And that's like not even taking Weta Digital into account. So while it does sort of get addressed later on, it has been addressed several times in previous videos and even like theory crafting sort of things. And you know, like I guess the difference between a movie / series that Rosa is involved in, and then like a blockbuster movie, when they bring up the actual size of the crew, like I mentioned, you know,
Yeah.
you can't help but wonder, or at the very least ask, is this at least one of, if not the primary factor of why it's taking so long?
Possibly.
Like you went from what 10 years to I
Yeah.
think like between Avatar 1 and 2,
13
and then I
years
think like
actually. Yeah, because
13.
Charlie and I talked to the Collider guy when we went to that advanced screening, and he was saying, well, it's been a long time. I don't know, stuff like that. He said, it's been 6 years, stuff like that. He was going into that thing, and I said, well, it took 13 years for Avatar 2 to come out. So he said, oh, you're right, something like that. So it's
So depending on if they're still doing post-production for Avatar 3, or actually
yeah,
they probably won't be now, but maybe Avatar 4 and 5, for example, they have to wait till they get off that particular contract before they can be contracted on to do other works,
yeah,
aka leader sequels.
yeah,
And it gets you to think of all the other crew that work on, like the cameraman, the the manual labor jobs of like moving lights, cameras, and in Robert Rodriguez's case, maintaining and or even like bringing it back up to a Cameron level standard of the actual set of Iron City as well, if they reuse that, because as far as we know, at the very least, we know the sequels will begin in Iron City,
yeah,
perhaps before expanding into the Badlands, depending on who they want to introduce into the movie in terms of characters, where any particular given scene and or battles occur. So yeah, the size of the crew, and then like I mentioned, that having to contract that crew, not just the movie stars like
yeah,
Christoph Waltz or Edward Norton or like any other characters past and present, sort of thing. So the scale is, as you just heard, much larger.
exactly. Yeah, here's one. Charlie comes up with a good observation that James Cameron said if Avatar 3 doesn't make a bunch of money, that there may not be a 4 and a 5 or a 5. I can't see Avatar 3 not making a bunch of money. It's going to make a bunch of money. That's what I think. Typically as you go along, each following sequel makes a little bit less than the previous. And of course, if the movie's bad, then of course it makes a lot less money. But in Cameron's case, I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to have a quality product no matter what. So I could see Avatar 3 making well over $1.5 billion. That's maybe even up to near $2 billion. Something like that. So I think there will be.
No, did we lose Creaky again?
I think we might have.
We got to get you a new laptop, Creaky, or a new computer, or a new something. Fantastic Fest. Trying to read that shirt. I think that's what it says. And it does go on for a few minutes longer, guys and girls. The video in question, and it gets a lot better too. So watch out for that. I think Creaky did link it a little bit earlier, or at the very least, he linked a tweet where I've got it sort of all centralized, at least the main video that we're watching now and the article linked to it. So if you want to rewatch it again, like we do on multiple occasions, then yeah, you can load up that tweet and maybe even have the video playing in the background while reading the article itself, so without any interruptions or chaos.
Yep.
Yeah, Creaky has connection problems. The Creaky connection.
I tell you, man, my computer, I sent you a DM there, jealous. I got the blue screen of death, on Windows 11. So,
Oof.
God, I hate that. All right, there's where we were. So let me get back to where we were. I guess we were on the. Let me get back to this guy.
Alita. So I'll just go there
I'm
next.
always
So
bringing up Alita.
I think we were right about here.
On Scourge Trials and Insurgent and Death Cure and all of that. But then when you get to Alita, it's like literally 4 times that size, because you have Weta and you have a normal crew, and then you have you have like welders. You have like thousands of people working on this thing, and it all comes down to this moment between two. It's just so amazing. I love a collaborative process, and it's just like to be able to do it on that scale.
when you have crews of that size, I am so in awe of a director who could be like the conductor of so many people in so many departments and make it feel cohesive in the end.
Well, you've got the man who made El Mariachi.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a guy who can literally cut the ends off of film and make a film, do drug trials so that he could actually make that short film, making this massive film. So it felt like we were still all hands on deck while also making this incredibly massive film, but also just means so much to me. The books mean so much to me. The character means so much to me. I have such a love for her. I wrote this treatment for Alita too, right after.
See, there you go.
Yep.
She has written a treatment. I mean, that's wild. I mean, if she wasn't confident we weren't going to get a sequel, she would not write a treatment. I mean, because you'd be wasting your time, is what you'd be doing. Yes, bad man, I'm glad Microsoft got rid of the blue screen of death. I'm so happy that they got rid of it.
Yep.
Because I got it for them back. I got it for them. So anyway. But anyway, yeah, she wrote a treatment, and I think certainly we know Cameron and Rodriguez and them, but they have the notes and whatever, they probably have other treatments and stuff like that. And I'm not going to go into kind of one of the things she told me at Pasadena Playhouse, but they, if they wanted to, they could do it right now. They'd have to get the actors and the crew and all lined up, for sure, so they couldn't do it right this instant. But I mean, it's ready to go right now. I believe they could, really start, planning for it as we speak. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And basically, not to take away from any of the fans' work, but to hear what she says and have it measured up against what you see on IMDb, she wrote and directed Good Crazy, the short film that she made.
Yep.
And she was also a producer on Wedding Season, Undone, and Cherry Flavor.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got, you know, like a myriad of experiences in a myriad of roles.
Yes.
Obviously, you know, the main one is an actress of like 57 films, but
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
one director, 4 producer, 1 writer, and yeah, you get the picture, I guess.
Yep.
In that, you know, the treatment goes beyond a normal fan fiction. So she might have even, you know, wrote it in a rough draft script form. Who knows?
Yeah.
Rosa, Alita.
Alita, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
she is. Rosa, if you hear this, then yeah, feel free to publish it.
Yeah. Well, our queen looks pretty in that shot, doesn't she? Or
Part of the film, and I sent it to James Cameron. He was like, "This is so cool! Like, he's James Cameron."
Can you
when
tell?
work
Can you
with
tell
people
me
like-
anything about it? Like, no.
It probably won't be the one that we
I
shoot,
mean-
but I'm like an avid fan of those.
it's probably not the one we will shoot. Talking about her treatment.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They did have it set up to have 3 different scripts for 3 different movies. Rodriguez said he went through it and got everything organized for that. So
Yeah. So
And
anyway, yeah.
even then, you'll notice that you know, even Rodriguez himself said he was like, you know, he was making a film for James Cameron because
Yes.
you know
Mhm.
Cameron, you know, trusted him with that.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, Cameron said, you know, if you can knock it down to 2 hours plus, then you know it's yours. You can put your name on the director's share, sort of thing.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
who knows if the future movies, if they keep the same tempo, for lack of a better term, if he wouldn't add in a spring, like still taking the bulk from Cameron's 1,000 pages of notes, if he doesn't take in a sprinkle of Rose's treatment as well.
Yeah.
We'll probably never know what's what, but as long as we get our sequels, I don't care.
Yeah. That's right.
Of those books that I couldn't help myself.
I love that.
You know, and I thought
She loves the manga.
Yeah.
for an afternoon.
Before I look to the future, then with Alita, I want to go back because again, you did a Maze Runner movie, you did 2 Maze Runner movies, you did Insurgent, and then you get your opportunity to headline your own studio film. Like, what did that mean to you? Was that just the most validating thing in the world to be the title character in a film like that?
Validating for about 3 seconds, and you're like, I'm so nervous.
I respect that. I
You know, 'cause
understand.
it's such a big responsibility.
Yeah.
But I knew I could do it. I was also ready to do it. I think I don't know where that confidence comes from. I mean, because it's really, really relegated to this career and like nothing else in my life. But this, I'm getting more and more confident in other things. But in acting, I'm like, I can do this. I mean, from the first moment I read the script, I'm like, I can do this. I can bring this home for you. So I was like, yes. Yeah, because like the audition process is its own like 3-month battle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could have gone either way. So then you're nervous a little bit, and then you're like, let's go, let's get to work. Because I know the moment we get to work, all of those nerves will go away.
Was there a particular moment on set when you did something and you knew to your core, like she's mine, I'm her, and nobody else could be?
I think it was during the audition process.
Mhm.
I think it was just that last final audition with Robert, where I had the time and the space and the attention to really say, like, this is who I think she is. This is who I think she is, and to me, she'll always be this. And I think he's okay. She has a clear vision. of
See,
who
and
this
she
person
read the
is.
manga, so
And it
she
drives
knew
mine.
what.
So from that moment on,
Yep.
we're smooth sailing.
They're so special.
I just love hanging out with Robert too. I think that was also a part of it.
Yeah,
You know,
I can understand
we
that.
get along really well. So let's do Latinos in the mix. Let's
Listen,
go.
I felt very at home on the Troublemaker Studio set. So,
he's the
you know,
best.
I can understand why you'd want to hang out there. Now, going back to what you said before, when I mentioned, you know, you only had one and you're like, well, maybe not. Like, how would your response to that have differed, like, any other year? Like, is there any reason you respond that way right now? Is it different than years
Respond how?
prior? Like, it might not be the end.
Oh,
Have you?
No, I've always felt
have
like
you
that.
always been saying that?
I've always
Okay.
felt like that.
See that she is confident. I mean, you know, I believe she's very confident. But anyway,
Every step of the way, I just felt like, I mean, well, you have these two filmmakers who, you know, I don't know, I think they made something very special. I think we all made something very special. But I also think, you know, James likes to make people wait. And I like that.
Oh, that's fair.
I like that. Why not?
Penny drop.
And I think the fervor has
Yeah.
only grown.
what's your thought there, Angelus?
Oh no, that's the penny drop moment I was referring to.
Oh yeah.
Like again, combining the other two videos,
Yeah.
plus you know even factoring in the whole size of the crew required.
Yeah.
When he said, or when she said that he likes to make people wait, referencing James Cameron.
Yeah.
You know that can also reference a myriad of Cameron's traits as well, because you know the running joke, again metaphorically speaking, is that Cameron doesn't get out of bed unless he's you know breaking new ground in film and technology sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you know when he was filming, or when he had the idea for Terminator 1, for example, he was actually envisioning Terminator 2 and how the T-1000 would come into it. But they didn't have the technology for that until they developed the Abyss. So obviously he made Terminator 1 in the meantime, and it led into 2 from there. And obviously, you know, Avatar and Alita have been tag teaming from 2009 in terms of like, you know, using one to improve the technology for the other. And so, yeah, coming full circle back to that running joke that I mentioned, he doesn't get out of bed unless he's, you know, pushing the limits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, aside from that larger crew size that was mentioned earlier, you know, Cameron might, you know, you know, he might not want to do anything or commit to anything unless he can commit to it 100%. And this is also sort of reflected when Landau himself said, you know, whenever we do something, we like to give 110% of ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's not just, and like, you know, give 100%, 110% to the audience, to the work, and, you know, their top priority is to make a good story first, and then everything else falls into place.
Yep.
With the various, you know, with Rosa, with the enlarged crew size, with the marketing, and etc. etc. So, yep, penny drop.
Bob Iger doesn't get out of bed unless he's losing money. Good thing Vladi's not here. That would have started a rant right there, wouldn't it?
If that's the case, bad man, he must be losing sleep, or he must
Yes.
be low-key insomniac right about now.
Yep.
Because he's been, I wouldn't say he's been bleeding money. He's been bloodletting money.
Yeah, he has.
Anyway.
All right.
I mean, there's you know, all the Alita Army fans. They came to see my play at Pasadena Playhouse. I did.
That's us, out there, Charlie. She's talking about us. Yeah, great. Yeah, she remembers us. I am so sure.
Cyrano de Bergerac, you know, a very antiquated play, and these people showed up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think they're still rooting for it. They're still rooting for me, and I haven't counted anything out yet.
That is such a big deal. Like, that's the coolest thing, to be able to take like one property and use it to introduce people to something that they
Cyrano de
might not
Bergerac.
have experienced at all.
Well, of course, she didn't introduce Alita Battle Angel to us at the Pasadena Playhouse. We knew all about it, didn't we, Charlie, way before then. So anyway.
It's true.
It is really cool.
So anyway, that's that. So that's now the whole interview is like it's nearly an hour long. So you know, I just wanted to play the part where where she's talking about Alita, so she's on board. Now, you guys in the chat, you want me to play it again? The rest of us will stay silent.
If you do end up doing that, just a quick one. Chucky was in Play Dirty as well.
Yeah, Chukwudi Iwuji. Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
we got Chaos back. Okay, hey Chaos.
Sorry, it's okay.
That's
I was
all
off
right.
a little bit.
So I guess what we'll do is we'll play this again, and and then of course all of us will just keep our mouths shut because we don't want to interrupt our queen at all when she's doing this.
So you brought up Alita, so I'll just go there
I'm
next.
always
So,
bringing up Alita.
I mean, good on you. You should be very proud of that movie. And I just listen. I wish that franchise got to continue on and on.
It still might.
I'll take that. I mean, he's got the set there.
He's got the set.
I'll follow
We'll
up.
have Cameron just as soon as this next Avatar.
I'll follow up on that point. I don't know how much you'll tell me in a moment, but I do want to emphasize how special it is to have a movie like that spark such like passion from a fan base that like for years now, every single time Alita comes up, there's people flooding the comments at like, when? Like, we're not letting this go. We need more story. And I don't blame them. I want
Me
more.
either. I'm like, keep going, keep going. I'm one of those. I'm all the bots online doing
Okay.
that.
No, you're not. I know that's not true. But
I just
I'm
love
glad
it
to
so
hear the
much.
enthusiasm from you as well.
The best. I mean, it's just the best. You have James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez who are friends, who are making this thing together. All the love is there. You have an amazing script. You have an amazing graphics team like Weta. Well, that's what I was saying. It's like there was this huge team on Scourge Trials and Insurgent and Death Cure and all of that. But then when you get to Alita, it's like literally 4 times that size because you have Weta and you have a normal crew. And then you have you have like welders. You have like thousands of people working on this thing. And it all comes down to this moment between two. It's just so amazing. I love a collaborative process. And it's just like to be able to do it on that scale.
When you have crews of that size, I am so in awe of a director who could be like the conductor of so many people in so many departments and make it feel cohesive in the end.
Well, you've got the man who made El Mariachi. So you have a guy who can literally cut the ends off of film and make a film, do drug trials so that he could actually make that short film, making this massive film. So it felt like we were still all hands on deck while also making this incredibly massive film, but also just means so much to me. The books mean so much to me. The character means so much to me. I have such a love for her. I wrote this like treatment for Alita too, like right after the film, and I sent it to James Cameron. He was like, "This is so cool!" Like, he's James Cameron.
Can you tell me anything about it? Like, no.
It probably won't be the one that we shoot,
mean,
but I'm like an avid fan of those books that I couldn't help myself.
I love that.
And I thought this will be fun.
Yeah.
For an afternoon.
Before I look to the future then with Alita, I want to go back because again, you did a Maze Runner movie, you did 2 Maze Runner movies, you did Insurgent, and then you get your opportunity to headline your own studio film. Like, what did that mean to you? Was that just the most validating thing in the world to be the title character in a film like that?
Validating for about 3 seconds, and you're like, I'm so nervous.
I respect that. I understand.
'Cause it's such a big responsibility.
Yeah.
But I knew I could do it. I was also ready to do it. I think I don't know where that confidence comes from. I mean, because it's really, really relegated to this career and like nothing else in my life. But I'm getting more and more confident in other things. But in acting, I'm like, I can do this. I mean, from the first moment I read the script, I'm like, I can do this. I can bring this home for you. So I was like, yes. Yeah, because like the audition process is its own like 3-month battle. It could have gone either way. So then you're nervous a little bit, and then you're like, let's go, let's get to work. Because I know the moment we get to work, all of those nerves will go away.
Was there a particular moment on set when you did something and you knew to your core like she's mine, I'm her, and nobody else could be?
I think it was during the audition process. I think it was just that last final audition with Robert, where I had the time and the space and the attention
Mm-hmm.
to really say, like, this is who I think she is. This is who I think she is, and to me, she'll always be this. And I think he's, okay, she has a clear vision of who this person is, and it jives with mine. So from that moment on, we're smooth sailing.
They're so special.
I just love hanging out with Robert, too. I think that was also a part of it.
Yeah.
You know?
I can understand
we
that.
get along really well, so... You know, it's 2 Latinos in the mix. Let's
Listen,
go.
I felt very at home on the Troublemaker Studio set. So,
he's the
you know,
best.
I can understand why you'd want to hang out there. Now, going back to what you said before, when I mentioned, you know, you only had one and you're like, well, maybe not. Like, how would your response to that have differed, like, any other year? Like, is there any reason you respond that way right now? Is it different than
Respond
years prior?
how?
Like, it might not be the end.
Oh,
Have you
no,
always,
I've always felt
have
like
you
that.
always been saying that?
I've always
Okay.
felt like that.
Okay.
Every step of the way, I just felt like, I mean, well, you have these 2 filmmakers who, you know, I don't know, I think they made something very special. I think we all made something very special. But I also think, you know, James likes to make people wait. And I like that.
Oh, that's fair.
I like that. Why not? And I think the fervor has only grown. I mean, there's all the Alita Army fans. They came to see my play at Pasadena Playhouse. I did Cyrano de Bergerac, you know, a very antiquated play, and these people showed up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think they're still rooting for it. They're still rooting for me, and I haven't counted anything out yet.
That is such a big deal. Like, that's the coolest thing, to be able to take like one property and use it to introduce people to something
To
that they
Cyrano de
might
Bergerac.
not have experienced at all.
That's true.
It is really cool.
Yeah, we are rooting for you, Rosa, and we are certainly rooting for that sequel. Any more thoughts, guys?
I don't think I can add anything to that.
Yeah, I mean, she pretty much says it all, doesn't she?
Yep.
Yeah, Charlie had an observation. Yeah, she's in good shape. I mean, she takes care of herself, I think. You know, I mean, she certainly looked like she was in really good shape when we saw her at the Pasadena Playhouse. She, just really, really trim and just, looked to be in shape, to me anyway. So, yeah, that's right. Perry is, I guess, maybe we should send Angelus, maybe we ought to try to send her some kind of DM or something and welcome her to the Elite Army. What do you think? I think Angelus is muted. So,
yep.
Oh,
yes, we do.
I
That's
wonder
all right.
if you know could hear me.
Sounds good.
I've got an idea brewing. As it sort of develops, I'll at least discuss it with you and bounce my ideas off you, Creaky. But what was I saying earlier? Oh yeah, when I mentioned earlier when I said her passion for her work and her fans is what everyone loves about her. Aside from the fact that obviously she is talented and she's got a myriad of roles in a myriad of mediums, of all things, the fact that at least for us anyway, because she encapsulated Rosa, oh my God, now I've flipped it again, because she encapsulated Alita so intimately, we see her, in Play Dirty, we see her in The Maze Runner, we hear her in roles like Undone, and like I sometimes do, I close my eyes and just listen to the voice, and sometimes I'm just picturing Alita in all these different scenarios, and it's like weird, like I'm having some sort of fervor dream, like seeing I don't know, a cyborg in a Western or desolate, a cyborg getting married, for example, even though that actually happens in the manga, but that's beside the point. So yeah, and as I was touching on earlier in the Play Dirty section as well, she said a lot of her experiences from previous movies led up to her role in Play Dirty, one of which was the athleticism that she adopted and like made part of her routine, part of her mindset, part of her work ethic. So, she mentioned it while she was filming Alita, and obviously she mentioned it again in the Play Dirty section of the interview. But like she wants to be in as many of the shots as possible. So all the times that she's in various roles where she's been driving, whether she's been fighting or doing something athletic, it's not really a spoiler, but she does her character does most of the driving and Play Dirty, as an example. She does have a lot of gunplay in Play Dirty as well. Again, that's not much of a spoiler because
it's an action movie.
It's an action movie, so like all of her previous experiences allowed her to seamlessly sort of not only step into but step up and elevate her role as well as her skill set.
Yeah.
So when it comes to come the Alita sequels, it's like it'll sort of just continue on that trend because we do see Alita's character go through that in such a short amount of like in-world time span. And we know in the manga whether they do so in the movie or not, who knows, because I know James Cameron is a little bit adverse to firearms, but that's his personal choice. I mean, he did Terminator, so go figure. But we know she uses guns in the manga, so it's not a far stretch for Alita to use firearms in the Alita sequels. Especially once she starts going head to head with Zalem and Nova, aka Edward Norton.
Yeah.
Who is no stranger to action movies himself.
Yes. Well, Charlie has an interesting, and this is the same thing I took away from when we met her, Charlie, is that, certainly Rosa is a very pretty lady, there's no doubt, but I really got the impression she was super intelligent when I talked to her. I mean, she knows what she's doing. I mean, that's kind of the way I felt when I was talking to her. I didn't have any preconceived notions about her or anything like that, but it's just something I observed as we were talking. It was like, God Almighty, And my thought, which I didn't ask her, but one of the thoughts I had was, how do you memorize all those lines when she was in that play? Just doing that play, you don't get a second shot at a line, in a play. You do the line, that's it. You got one shot. So now, granted, she had done it several times up to the point when we saw her a couple of times, but just delivering it perfectly every time. I mean, it's not just rote memory. It requires, the expression and everything else. It requires, some level of intelligence, to do that. I think anyway. So, Badman, Play Dirty is a movie, and it's on Amazon Prime. You can actually see it there. If you got Prime, then you'll be able to get it pretty easily. So I mean, you can just do a search on it. If it doesn't pop up as the new, latest movie, it'll come right up on your, up on your menu, I guess. So yeah, but it's on Amazon Prime if you want to look at it. Flynn, I don't know if you got it, Finn, or not, but it's worth the watch, and don't be sorry for your question. That's cool. So Rosa's songs of Skyrocket. Yeah. Well, I think Rosa deserves a lot of, she deserves a lot, and she's really great. Yeah, I would say that Rosa doesn't just like Alita. I think she loves Alita. Yeah. So anyway, were you going to say something, Lee? I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no, I was just listen.
Oh, okay. Okay. Any other thoughts, guys, on Rosa's interview?
Just that everyone will have their own interpretation, but or their own takeaway, using the term I used earlier. But like I said, when you do decide what your interpretation is and what you take away from it, again, I'll reiterate to keep in mind the difference between leading someone on a merry chase and, keeping the home fires burning.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is that, as a bit of a metaphor comparison, if you will, when I used to be in the military cadets, we'd have shifts on what we call fire watch. Basically, we'd have the fire going on all night to have some source of warmth, and cadets would take shifts, keeping watch over the fire so it doesn't burn down the entire forest that we're camping in. It doesn't get out of control or out of hand, sort of thing. And when I say that to keep the home fires burning, that's where that sort of terminology comes from, or at least one of the places where it's based from, because that's what the the actual military does, especially out in the bush, sort of thing.
Yep.
And like I said, coming back full circle, when you decide what your interpretation, what your takeaway is, do you really think that James Cameron, Robert Rodriguez, Landau when he was still with us, Rosa, hell, even Christoph Waltz, and all the other people that have mentioned any sort of reference to Alita. Plus, don't forget to take into account all the multitude of references where Rosa is mentioned. Alita is always one of the 3 or 4 movies that they have as part of their resume, sort of thing. It's like that Simpsons character, hi, my name's Troy McClure. You might remember me from such films as blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's like, this is Rosa Salazar. You might remember her from such films as Brand New Cherry Flavor and Alita. And like I said, Alita's always mentioned. So with all that, do you still think that all of those guys, especially the big movers and shakers, are leading you on or dangling the carrot, or are they actually keeping the fires burning until they can really light things up and get things rolling, so to speak?
Yeah.
Well, Badman, guess what? Someone did a stop motion Alita video a long time ago, and I'm going to try searching for that one.
Oh, like a Lego type thing?
Yeah,
Chaos?
they use Legos and they're doing it in stop motion. I'm going to look for it.
Oh, okay. If you find it, we'll put it up here.
I already got the video. I'm going to try and make a trailer for License to. That was similar to License to Kill or Unbreakable again.
Well, I'll put them in the chat so that way you can. Anybody wants to take a look at some of this stuff that Chaos does. I really like your videos, Chaos.
Oh, not a problem. I'm glad. It's just that it's not frequently, and I'm going to do advertisements for it eventually. It's hard to see it in the tumultuous chaos that is the internet.
Yes, that can be somewhat of a cesspool from time to time.
Well, it's me competing against attention for other things, but people have their choices.
There we go.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Wow. Dance, little flea. That is awesome. It's going to be interesting to see how they pull off the getting cut in half.
It's easy with Legos because they
I
just have
guess
to
so,
fall
yeah.
apart, and they use Play-Doh for the like blood.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn you into a living pendant so I can hear your voice pleading every day for mercy. And then here comes my favorite line. Fuck your mercy. Yeah.
Yep.
I love that. Cool.
Glad I
Angelus,
mentioned it.
Angelus, put that link in the private chat so I can put it in a public chat for the
Oh, yeah.
folks.
Should be that one.
Yeah, okay. All right, I got it. Okay. Let's, yeah, y'all can hear my keyboard, I know. There it is, folks. Wow, we got quite a thing going there, Chaos.
Well, yeah. I'll just do a little bit for advertising. And
No, I mean, you got a lot of excitement going on there in your house, it sounds like.
yeah. Yes, I do.
You must be watching Alita.
Yeah,
No.
Sonic, but it's okay. The kids like it.
yeah, as long as it keeps them busy, right? So anyway, all right. Well, I guess we've kind of hit this one pretty good, I think. And you know, our queen. I tell you, I get the same feeling from this interview with Perry that I did when I met her. You know, at the Pasadena Playhouse. I mean, she is really vibrant like that. She's just like that in person. You know, I mean, well, you're so welcome, Finn, for sure. Let me see if I can find that on YouTube. Well, it's down in the description. That's right. The video. I mean, this interview. Now, the interview in total is almost an hour long, and it's worth a watch. Because you know, there's some other things that Rosa talks about, which is pretty cool. You know, so. All right, guys. Well, anyway, what's our queen been up to? Well, she's got a couple other movies going on. She's that Vampires of the Velvet Lounge. Now, I heard somebody said that the name was changed, and I think Blotty said that, but it keeps showing up in IMDb as Vampires of the Velvet Lounge. And she plays a vampire hunter in that thing. So, you know, because I had asked her at the Pasadena Playhouse the second time I went to see her, I said, "Are you a vampire in that movie?" Because I mean, I said, if you're a vampire, I got to see that. So she said, "No, I'm a vampire hunter." You know, so okay, you know, great. Still got to see it. You know, but it's not out yet. It's in post. And she's a producer on one of them too, The Call. And I don't know, The Call, is that it? Yeah, The Call. Yeah. And certainly you can go to IMDb and you know, do a search on Rosa and you know, this will pop up. Now, I kind of clipped out a couple of the movies because I wanted Alita Battle Angel to be on the screen. So, and if you put the whole page on there, you'd be too small to see. But a couple other movies, Play Dirty, certainly I love that movie. It's a good movie. You should watch it. And I really loved her in A Million Miles Away as well. She was great in that movie. I mean, super duper. So what is this here? Bad Man. It's changed. Yeah, I don't know if it has or not. Blotty said it did. I haven't seen anywhere where it's changed. So maybe I don't know what he saw to do that. Yeah, Charlie. Yeah, she was signing autographs. As a matter of fact, the second time I went to see her, there was a bunch of people lined up, you know, to sign autographs with her. I mean, you know, I would have loved to spend a little more time with her, you know, but she's she's in demand. People want to, get her autograph, talk to her and stuff like that. We still got to talk a pretty good while, almost 10 minutes, I think, at the second time I went to see her. And but she does love her fans, that's for sure. And I think when I went to see her the second time, there was a bunch of people out front. They all had like I don't think any of them had the programs. I think they were just waiting for the show to be over so they could get her to autograph some merch they had and that kind of thing. So yeah, she very willingly, signs autographs. As a matter of fact, a funny story about that is that when Charlie and I were there the first time, we were talking to her. We talked to her at least 10 minutes. And she was really, engaging and stuff like that. She was really nice. And I was I had my program in my hand, and she said, "Would you like me to sign your program?" And I said, "Oh, Rosa, you don't have to do that, really. Because you signed all autographs and stuff like that." And she took that thing out of my hand and said, "Give me that."
Was that mine or?
No, that was mine. Now, the second time I went, I had a program and I asked her to sign it for Angelus. And
quick question.
Yeah.
Is Play Dirty on Amazon Prime?
Yeah, Amazon Prime, yeah.
Okay, I think Finn was asking about that there.
Oh yeah, Amazon Prime. I was just calling it Prime,
As for
Prime
he's asking
Video,
about
whatever you want to
two
call it.
movies. I think if you're asking about Vampires of the Velvet Lounge, I don't think that one's out yet, Finn.
Yeah, it's in post. So and so is The Call. So she's been a busy lady. I'm telling you, man. She's had a lot going. And of course, Play Dirty came out, and then she finished up, the Pasadena Cyrano de Bergerac toward the end of 2024. So I mean, she's been pretty busy, Yeah, that's right, Charlie. As a matter of fact, another funny story. When Charlie and I went, we sat down in the front row, kind of on the end, and when she got through, she came over to us and said thank you, because I'd sent her some roses and stuff like this, but I think roses and chocolate is what I sent her, if I remember correctly. But anyway, she came over and said thank you, and we were both wearing Alita Army shirts. When she came out, and started talking to us. She said, "I saw you guys down there." I said, "So you're wearing Elite Army shirts? I saw you guys down there." So that was pretty cool. She was really nice. So yeah, that's right, Charlie. That's you see on the screen there. She's not only acting in that movie, she's also a producer. So I mean, cool. Yep. And actually, it's 3 movies. The Call, Vampires of the Velvet Lounge, and Play Dirty. And on top of that, in 2024, she was in that play. So, I mean, yeah, she's a busy lady. That's for sure.
I was kind of gathering that. I'd been hearing that she'd been doing quite a bit of stuff. Yeah.
She really enjoys her profession. That's for sure. That's evident. You can see that from the, from the video, or from the interview, rather. So
yes, she seems to have a lot of enthusiasm for the acting career, which is good to see.
Yeah, I don't have the video, Charlie. I took stills, but we are going to see a couple of shots on that. So we'll. Yeah, Charlie and I went to the advanced screening, for Play Dirty. It was there in Culver City Theater. And I guess one of the things they do is they, the first couple of movies, I think the premiere was in New York and the advanced screening was in LA. But, we went to the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures, and when you go in the front door, you pay and stuff like that. And they got a section there where you put on a VR helmet, and Rosa is introducing you to cyberpunk, and it's really cool, What is this, Bad Man? About when Cameron call her about Alita sequels being greenlit. I hope. But although she's playing somebody called Alex in that, so I think probably not. So, yeah. And then this is what Charlie's referring to right here. when we went to the Academy Museum Motion Pictures, the first thing we did was sit, you know, they have that section when you enter, the section's right there to your left as you go in the door, and you go to the front desk, you pay, and then, you know, you can go to the you know, where they have the VR helmets and stuff like that. And she takes you through this, how, you know, a cyberpunk movie using technology is put together, you know, and how they make changes and stuff like that. It is really interesting how they do it. Yeah, but she showed how they could move a whole building. You know, if one building looks out of place because maybe it's not, doesn't fit the environment, then you just pull the whole building out and put the new one in, something like that, you know. And it was really interesting. And she's talking in that, and she's like right in front of you, you know. Now it's not like talking to her in person, obviously, because you can see from that center image right there. It's almost like a hologram. It's not a hologram, but it's kind of like that, you know, the way it appears, you know. But she does all that explaining, you know, about how VR, I mean, or rather how technology is used to produce, you know, movies and stuff like that. So, you know, particularly in cyberpunk. So it's really, really interesting, you know, kind of an exhibit that you can go to. Now, we didn't just go to that. There was a whole bunch of stuff we did in there, you know, in the museum, including going to the gift shop, which I didn't really buy anything, but there was some interesting stuff in there as well. So,
unless there's Alita merch, I wouldn't be buying anything either.
Well, I would have bought some Alita merch had it been in there, you know, for sure, you know. So anyway, that brings us to this, folks. And I know we've seen some of this before, but, you know, just to refresh our memories on what we can do to help support Alita and Rosa, is that, you know, certainly if you're on social media, you know, do some posts, you know, I mean, you know, I know Alex Lita does, he takes shots of his Hot Toys Alita in different, you know, kind of different situations and stuff like that. And he, you know, he'll post that on social media. It looks kind of interesting, you know. If you do videos, then certainly you can use the gaming network if you want, you know, or you can start a YouTube channel or whatever. I know in the past, Chaos and I have said, hey, if you want to learn how to do any kind of video editing, we'll help you. You know, so
I'm still around. Just send me a message to let me know, and I'll try to figure out a time to talk to somebody if they need help.
Same is true here. If you want to learn how to do it, I mean, I'm no expert. I mean, I've put out over 700 videos, but I don't consider myself an expert, but I'll at least show you what I know, you know, and then that'll get you going. Maybe you can improve on it, you know, that kind of thing.
You might not be an expert, but you're self-taught for the most part. And
yeah,
I think it's that level of unique experience that sets you apart from like a random like online course or some crap like that, or a tutorial video on YouTube or whatever the case.
Well, I mean, I did have some experience doing this, but you know, my brother is he won an Emmy back in the 80s, you know, for a piece he did that you know, that was it made it to network television, but you know, he got an Emmy for it. And you know, he's, you know, kind of, I've done some work with him, you know. We did a corporate video at one point, and you know, we did a couple of other videos. So, I mean, I kind of knew a little bit about it, you know, going into it. Now, I made a lot of mistakes when I first started doing videos, you know, so, and that's okay. You know, you make mistakes, you keep going. You know, it's the effort that counts. It's the fact that you're putting content out for Alita to help keep her current. That's the most important thing, you know. If you want to learn how to live stream, certainly I will help you. I'm sure Chaos would help you as well, you know.
Yeah, I just need to know what time.
Yeah, I would too. So, you know, if you want to learn how to do that, you know, you can get a free version of StreamYard. You don't have to pay any money. You get the free version and start streaming, you know. If you do that, I'll help you with it. And, you know,
another one too is that Streamlabs, you have to learn it, but Streamlabs is also a free version. It doesn't quite have the time limits per month like StreamYard does, but It has a free version unless you want to stream to multiple platforms at once.
Well, if you got the paid version like I do for StreamYard, you don't have limits like that. The only thing you have to do is make sure that you don't use more than the amount of storage that they allot you, so you got to keep things cleaned up. But other than that, it's easy peasy, But, if you want to learn how to stream, I'll certainly help you. I know Chaos will, and Angelus and I will come on your stream as well, if you want to do that, you won't be alone. We'll help you out, so, I didn't mean to volunteer you there, Angelus, but if you do artwork, of course, certainly you can post that on social media. You can post that on the gaming network. I know Channel does not exist, has posted a lot of stuff on there. I think Panini Freak has as well. I know KranberriJam, she posts on social media. She does that, and she's even been on our stream here. And I paid a commission for her to draw a picture of Alita. And while she was drawing the picture of Alita, we discussed Alita, and that was kind of a fun thing to do. If you do like Alex Lita does on X, and I think he's on Blue Sky as well. He'll take pictures of his Hot Toys Alita in different situations and scenarios and stuff, and he'll post that. He'll make up a little story about it or something. And that's pretty cool. And I know Vladi used to, he used to have photo shoots of Hot Toys Alita. I think he's gotten away from that. He plays with AI now, mostly, I think, with the different kinds of, maybe using, just coming up with prompts that would come up with, images of Alita and that kind of thing. In some of those cases, that's not quite as good, in terms of what the accuracy of Alita is. What do you got here, Charlie? Let's see. Yeah, that is on Amazon Prime. But yeah, if you Google it, it'll point you in the right direction. So. What is this? AKA, what's the English version of? Is that Play Dirty? Is that what you're? Oh, The Call. No, he said The Call. Okay. I think it's where somebody calls her, Alex, and things go sideways after that. And Smendrick, Finn Smendrick is having some health issues, and he's kind of laying low for a little bit, staying under the radar, but. He did come on the stream here about a month ago, and we had a lot of fun talking to him. It was good to see him again, but yeah, that's, he's kind of, he's dealing with some things right now, I think, yeah, and that's Lee also. Okay. And certainly you can buy and read the manga. I know I've got all the manga, and Angelus gives me hell all the time about having not read chapter 10 yet. So I haven't read that. Just kind of like I haven't read the rest of Lee's fanfic. I guess I'm kind of running behind schedule here on those. But
you got a busy schedule yourself. So
well, I do have to do some work. I'm not. A lot of folks think I'm retired, but I'm not. So yeah, certainly participate in the live streams. Radio Chaos. Every Saturday, or if you're in the future like Angelus, it'd be on Sunday. We do a live stream there as well. That is the Alita Army channel, and this is the Alita live stream is a sister channel. But we have fun on both of these streams. And if you do a stream like Chaos from time to time, he does streams. Watch our stuff. Support us. And that helps. Every little bit helps, to keep Alita current, and then the last one is something I'm going to do this coming week is to write a letter to Bob Iger. It won't probably go anywhere, but I'm going to write one anyway. And we do tweets, or posts on X. I know every day, Tony Hughes I think he's in Ireland, if I'm not mistaken, but he sends me a message every morning, hoping that I have, like today, a fabulous Friday or something like that. And I always respond, or where I can when I'm on. I'm not on every day, but when I am on, I respond to his tweet, and I'll post a picture of Alita on it, you know, as a response, and he'll come back with, you know, yeah, great pick or something like that. So, but I always say, and Disney will greenlight the Alita sequel soon, you know. And any campaign we do, you know, post, you know, participate, like for instance, the Alita sequel petition, sign that thing, you know, I mean, you know, you can specify your email address and your name to be anonymous. You don't have to get it out into the public. And, you know, and things like if we do a fundraiser, you know, if you can't afford it, that's fine, you know, but no amount's too small, even if it's $1, you know, I mean, you know, because we don't make money on these campaigns. You know, we, like, for instance, we did that campaign for that young lady in West Virginia. She was, you know, missing an arm, and we got her a hero arm, you know, and every dime of that money went to the hero arm. The Creek or Angelus or none of us in the Alita Army, the core group or the company, we didn't make money on that. We don't make money on it. So yeah, every dollar that you put into these campaigns, you know, they're going to go directly for what every dime, every dollar, every penny is going to go to that, whatever that campaign's about. So, okay, let's see what we got here as to just catching up on some of the re-release in theaters again. Yeah, they're to Charlie's point here, here in Colorado. I don't know, Lee, if you got those down. If you got we used to have I don't know if you had Elvis Cinemas down there or not. But up here in Denver, and I think in Fort Collins, where Alita Rave lives, you know, we have a small theater chain called Elvis Cinemas. And at one point I was talking to a guy about, you know, playing Alita Battle Angel, you know, I would just rent the whole theater, you know, and people come and watch it for nothing, you know, but the theater chain closed down. But it's under new we saw on the marquee that, you know, that the theater now is under new management. So they may be upscaling it or something like that. When they get that thing back up, I'm going to go approach those people and say, hey, I'd like to rent one of your theaters, and I want to play Alita Battle Angel, you know, and you know, we'll go from there. So if you can do that, you know, as well. Now we're kind of going to do that. We have formed this company, you know, the Alita Army company. This has nothing to really, it's not directly related to the Alita Army fandom. It's just a way that we can kind of do things, you know, as an organization. And, you know, one of the things that we want to do eventually is that we thought it might be a good idea. We haven't decided to re-release Alita in theaters, but one of the things we do want to do is to maybe do on a smaller scale a test case to see how many people show up. And another thing we thought of is when the movie, the sequel, is greenlit, there probably will be a re-release of Alita Battle Angel, maybe including some of those pieces that they cut out, like Alita training with Hugo, and I guess another one was Shirin walking through Iron City to go see Ito, I think it was. I'm not sure. And there was some other, you know, segments that they had cut out. So they probably would re-release Alita Battle Angel like maybe 2 months in advance. You know, so that's that one. So what do we got here? I have until February the 10th to finish volume 10. Okay, that's when volume 11 is going to be released. Okay, bad man, thanks for that. I'll have to get on the stick here and do it. So I might have to reread volume 10. I forgot what's happened about that time. Yeah, I might have to reread at least the end of volume 9 because it's been a while since I've read that as well. So. Oh, you're not a bad Alita advocate there, Finn. No, you're not. All right. Did we miss anything, you guys?
Well, nothing comes to mind for me anyway.
What about you, Angelus? I think Angelus is muted again. That's what I think.
No, it looks like he's just AFK.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. What about you, Chaos? Anything?
Not much. Sorry yet.
That's all right.
Sorry, I had my
Yes.
headphones off. My bad.
Any last thoughts there, Angelus?
Well, oh, I actually did have one, and that's that,
Oh.
we can try doing like presentation topics. I don't know, occasionally.
Yeah.
It might be interesting.
Yeah, maybe we can collab on one. Ben wants more interviews with Rosa. So do we. Rosa's great, man. She was so super in that interview. Golly. Yeah, we just want the Alita sequels. That's exactly right. That's what we want. Well, as you can see from that center panel there, Alita does love her Uncle Creek, and that's because he wants the Alita sequels, just like, everybody on the panel here and all of us out there and all you guys in the chat. We want that Alita sequel. And come on, Disney, give it to us. We definitely want it. There's our queen right there. And of course, she's great, man. She did a great job in Play Dirty. It was kind of a role that you're not used to seeing her in, but she was great, man. She just really a great job. And of course, acting with Mark Wahlberg and Lakeith Stanfield is just, and Thomas Jane was in it as well. And I guess Tony Shalhoub, these guys were all great actors, and she fit right in with them, and she's super. Also want to give shout outs to Elamont and Jesse Fisher because they brought Screwhead to life. And what I want to see is Alita and Screwhead team up. It's kind of like Elle told us in the interview that, Screwhead's pissed off that she's been used by Vector and stuff like that. So she goes to Alita and, they kind of make up or something. She said, hey, I got your back, girl. Let's, I'm with you. Let's burn it all down. That was funny. I love that. And of course, Jessie is a really, as Elle put it, Jessie is the most badass stunt woman she ever worked with. So, that's high praise right there. So I want all three of them in the Alita sequel for sure. Angelus, who's going to be the guy?
Maxie, because I'll be half an hour late.
Okay. Are you going to do the news, or is Maxie going to do the news as well?
Maxie might do it.
Okay.
Show notes are done. I just haven't linked it yet.
Okay. Well, you did see that I put the link in the Radio Chaos link in the Radio Chaos chat, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, Maxie
yeah.
got on me about not doing it before, and I just want to make sure he sees that. So anyway, tomorrow we're going to talk about what would have happened if somebody else had found Alita in the scrapyard, say like maybe Shirin or Nova, let's say, or even worse, Zapan or Guruishka.
Or what if Hugo had?
But what if Hugo had? Yeah, Hugo, I don't think typically went into the scrapyard, but he could have.
Not typically, but
he could have
say
done
maybe something unusual happened, and he ended up wandering in there and coming across something he didn't expect.
Yeah. And of course, on the Alita Livestream, we do this every week. So, just, come see us, and I didn't put any links in the chat. I usually do, but I didn't this time because I wanted to concentrate on Rosa's interview for the most part. And of course, you guys participated out there in the chat wonderfully. So we appreciate it as well. But next week, we'll come up with another topic, maybe even invite Lee to come back, continue to read his, maybe do another read of his fanfic. We'll see how that goes. And I will put the link in the chat there. Okay. So we are the Alita Army. We are the most friendly fandom on the internet, and we support Alita and Rosa passionately and positively. And it's like she said, I have all my bots out there. Well, we're not bots, but yeah, we do the same thing. We are going to keep pinging Disney until we get that damn sequel, because we want that sequel. And we are here to stay. We are not going anywhere. So why is that image there? Well, that image is there because I like it. And to paraphrase Gruishka, I'm only here for our girl and our queen and the Alita Army. So that only leaves us with one thing left to do, and that would be the call to action on my count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Film those sequels, baby. All right, so we will see you next week on the Alita live stream, and we will see you tomorrow on Radio Chaos.
Yep, take care, guys.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita live stream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.
No cause is lost, if there is but one fool left to fight for it.